last example where we're graphing rational functions doing the last two steps. So what I want you to do for this example, I want you to try the sign line part on your own. So remember, x-intercepts and vertical asymptotes are what go on our sign line. And I want you to pause the video, put those sections in, and try to fill them in with the correct signs, and see if you can get the sign line correct. Welcome back. Let's see how you did. Our x-intercept was -2/3. Our vertical asymptotes were -1 and +3, so I put those in order from least to greatest. Then I put them up here on the side. If -1 was my 0, then this section would be negative. All these would be positive. Left is negative, right is positive. If -2/3 was my 0, left is negative, right is positive. And if this one was my 0, left is negative, right is positive. And then I look at them downward. So these two negatives make a positive. Times that by a negative gives me a negative. Those two negatives make a positive, and a positive and a positive are a positive. And so on and so forth. So now I can go in and box my sections. Left of -1 is negative. Oops, let's do that purple. So that's going to be below the x-axis. Between -1 and -2/3 is positive. That's going to be above the x-axis. Between -2/3 and +3 is negative, below the x-axis. And right of 3 is positive, above the x-axis. So that should be your boxes. Now I want you to pause the video, see if you can graph this one correctly, and then come back and see how you did. Welcome back. That is how your final graph should look. And that is our last example for this lesson. We have graphed rational functions. Now, one thing that I want you to keep in mind as you're doing all of this, you can see while we're graphing how important it is to get those first 5 steps correct. If I mix up my x-intercepts and my vertical asymptotes, it's going to change my entire graph. So make sure the most important part of this whole lesson is that you get all these steps memorized and you do them carefully. That's it for graphing rational functions. Your in-class practice for sticker is finishing up number 2 and 4 from the last assignment.